Hi, this is Gardy with Clear Life Combat. I have the opportunity to talk to Muhamed Aly. He's going to be on the PCS 4 card taking place January 20th. You can watch on clearlifemedia.com or get your tickets and watch live at the GSH Event Center in Houston, Texas. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for making time. I know you're busy. You have a lot going on. If somebody hasn't had the chance to watch your career, kind of let people know, I guess, who you are and what you've accomplished thus far.
Yeah, my name is Muhamed Aly. I'm 29 years old. I've been dreaming with this MMA debut for over 10 years now. Actually, the reason I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was because I wanted to be an MMA fighter. But then things took a little longer, and then I ended up, chasing the world champion dream, and then end up winning four world titles, purple belt, brown belt. I got double gold, and then I lost 2 years in a row as a black belt and finally got my title in the third year. So it took me forever to accomplish this big goal. And then COVID hit. So right now I'm finally reaching my goal, and I'm very excited to, make my MMA debut in 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Awesome. So when did you start training, I guess, jiu-jitsu, or when did you start combat sports, and what drew you towards that?
Yeah, I was 14 when I started kickboxing back in Brazil. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And then 6 or 7 months later, somebody invited me to do a MMA sparring. At that time, I didn't like jiu-jitsu at all. I didn't think it was for me, but the guy put me in a triangle and finished me with a triangle. And it amazed me because the guy didn't didn't make any effort at all. He didn't have to fight for it. It was just a thing where he set up. I didn't know how to defend. I didn't know what to do to move. So I was like, okay, I have to learn this thing, at least to defend myself. But I didn't know that in jiu-jitsu, it takes years for you to learn how to defend yourself. Against, a regular person is one thing, but then as you grow into the sport and you train with different people, you notice that every day is a new experience. Every day is a new thing. Every day you have to add a new tool into your game. You have to add a new movement or position or grip or angle to your game. So it's a lifelong journey. I didn't know that back then. So I thought I would train for 3 or 4 months and then I'll be done with it. But then here I am 15 years later, still doing that.
Yeah, multiple time world champion in jiu-jitsu. Do you still have anything left to accomplish in jiu-jitsu?
I don't think so. I'm happy. I'm happy with everything that I've accomplished. I now want to, of course, I want to teach. I want to create good students. I just opened a gym 7 months ago, so I want my students now to do the job for me. But if anything, I will compete for them, with them, go through the struggles and the preparation with them. But in my heart, I don't feel that I need to do any other than what I already done. So I would say, no, I'm happy with everything that I've accomplished. I look forward for the next chapters of my life. But I wouldn't say that I'm done with jiu-jitsu. I may, compete still because that's what I love doing. I still train jiu-jitsu every day. So I don't think I'm done with it, but if I die today, I'm happy. If I have to go today, or if I lose a leg or anything, like I'm pretty happy and proud of what I've done with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
So you mentioned you just opened a gym 7 months ago. If someone's not aware, where's your gym located and how is that going so far?
Right. So my gym is located in Alexandria, Virginia. It's doing amazing actually. It's doing better than I thought. I so in my self-image, I didn't look at myself as a coach. I would see myself as an athlete and somebody that can teach seminars, somebody that can, help people here and there, but I didn't think I would commit myself to other people as much as I'm doing now. And to be honest, man, is a big passion of mine right now because I trained jiu-jitsu 7 a.m. back in Brazil when I was going to De La Riva's gym, right? And I thought, okay, I can't really do any earlier than 7. And right now I'm teaching 6 a.m. twice a week and happy. Listen, I go to sleep, I'm happy. I'm excited about my next class. I want my students to get better. So I noticed that is a new passion of mine. I like teaching. I like seeing the improvements of the guys, So this jiu-jitsu, it keeps proving me that I still have a lot to learn and a lot to accomplish and a lot to improve. So I'm excited about teaching. I'm excited about the gym, and I'm excited about this new chapter of my life also.
So you're making that jump, you're making that switch, and you mentioned earlier that MMA has been the goal. What was it? Was there a certain event or something that you saw that whenever you were young that said, I want to do that, I want to fight?
Yeah, so when you live in that bubble, looking at myself, it took COVID to pop that bubble, to pop me out of that bubble because I won initially. So the goal initially was to win Purple Belt Worlds and then fight MMA because that's what Charles
Mhm.
Oliveira did. And I always liked him. Since like before he was in UFC, I saw him fighting in person in Brazil. So I was like, okay, I want to do like this guy. He won Worlds as a Purple Belt. And then he moved to MMA. I was like, okay, cool. But I was a blue belt back in the days, and I didn't have a visa. I didn't have a passport. I didn't have money to travel. I didn't even have money for the bus, to be honest. I would have to ride my bicycle. I mean, ride a bicycle to the gym. I didn't have a bicycle. So I had to grab somebody's bicycle, go to the gym. That would be 8, 9 miles each way, and then train and come back. So but I had that goal. And somehow everything happened, everything aligned. The tournaments, the travel, like people founding money to, putting money together for me to take my passport, my visa, and my travel expenses. And then later on, I met Lord, and later on, things start getting a little easier. But that was the goal. So then when I fought as a purple belt, I had a teammate that won brown belt worlds. So I won purple belt worlds on Friday and he won brown belt worlds on Saturday. So then I was like, okay, so we train like our practices are pretty tight, right? So if he won brown belt, maybe I can do that too. And then next year I came back and won double gold at brown belt, right? So then I was looking at the list of the people that won double gold at brown belt, and they're all legends. So I was like, okay, all these guys won purple brown belt. They also won black belt. So I'm like, they can win black belt also, So then I came back next year, lost first round, you know. So then I'm like, oh my God, I can't really stop like this. I can't really quit. I can't really be a quitter. So I have to go for that title. And then the year after that, I got hurt 7 times. I was overtraining. I was doing a lot of things that today, when I look back, I think it was crazy, but I did. And I got hurt a lot. So I couldn't perform in any big tournament. And then the year after that, I won. So when I won, I was like, okay, I can't really stop with only one because they're gonna say it was lucky, and then COVID hit. No, no, actually, I lost the next year in the finals to the guy that I just beat the year before, and then I was like, oh my god. And then COVID hit. When COVID hit, I was like, okay, this is a wrap. I have to do something else. I have to start making money. I lost all my sponsors, and that's how I started brainstorming the gym. That's when I started, okay, I don't want to have the gym, but at the same time, I don't want to be driving Uber. I don't want to be doing all this stuff that I see a lot of fighters doing because they had to. And I was like, okay, cool. So let me start brainstorming the gym. And then I planned it out for like a year and everything happened, So it took a bad thing that was COVID to remind me of myself, to remind me, okay, this is who you are, that's what you want to do, that's what you've been planning, that's the amount of work that you've been putting in, and you can't really stop like this. You still have 10 more years on you, and you have to do this. You have to go back to your call. And funny story is that my dad, he named me after the boxer, the Muhammad Ali boxer. So, but he passed away when I was 9. So my dad actually never saw me competing or training or anything like that, but he had that vision. So in my family, with my friends, we all think that okay, there is a reason for that. It's not just a coincidence. Things happen to you different than most people because in reality, it was impossible for me to be here in the United States. From like with my background, I remember my first visa interview, I got denied because of my zip code. They don't tell you this, but as soon as they see your address, as soon as they see you come from a bad neighborhood, they deny you. So I was in an interview in front of the window. I remember the guy asked me, "Hey, what's your name? What you're trying to do in the United States?" And I say, "Hey, I want to compete Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu." He shut the window down. So there is a window you behind the glass. They close it in your face. They don't even tell you why. And then they throw a paper under saying, "Oh, you got denied, whatever." So that was the day I quit for the first time. I was like, okay, this is not for me. I'm not doing this. I'm not supposed to be doing this. But then my mom, that was somebody that never told me to do jiu-jitsu. She was always against it. She said, you ain't no quitter. You're not gonna quit. You're gonna try it again. And anyways, man, it was not supposed to be like this, but then it happened. So now I got back to myself and say, okay, what if? Like it is a thing that you have that name, that you are here now, that you have all this background, training all these UFC guys. What about now? So that's why I'm like, okay, I have to do this for myself because I believe that's why I'm here for. That's why there's a reason for me to to walk that journey so far. And I believe the time is now, so that's why I'm so excited about this.
So how did you get in contact, or how did that connection with Paradigm Combat Sports happen for you to accept and take this fight?
I believe one of my teammates is competing over there. Oh, so I've been trying to do amateur fights, right? I would say for the last 2 years, we've been trying because my coach, I mean, in Brazil, it's different. In Brazil, people don't do amateur at all because it doesn't change anything other than getting paid. So they just decide to get paid other than not getting paid. But then my coach Lloyd, he wanted me to get some experience in amateur first, and then jump into the pros. But so far we had over, I'm not sure the number exactly, but we had like 25 people accepting the fights. And then last minute or the week before, they'll say, "Oh, you know what? Never mind. We got hurt. We're not doing this, whatever." So that's why I was like, okay, let's do pro. And I never wanted to do amateur, to be honest. I wanted to do pro because I believe in myself and I believe in my work ethic, and I believe that I get much better by having bigger challenges, right? So I always wanted to do this, but I will always listen to the opinion of my coaches and everything. So I think Shelton is the reason for me to be there. I'm not 100% sure. So one of my teammates is competing there, and then Lloyd just tried to put me in there, and everything worked out perfect. So yeah, so that's how everything started.
So you have world-class jiu-jitsu. Going into this MMA fight, are you going to be leaning on that, or is any of your game plan that you would like to share, or do people need to tune in and watch?
So I want to challenge myself now, so I don't want to be one of these jiu-jitsu guys that are known to be jiu-jitsu guys and that's all they do. I've been training striking now for, I would say, almost 2 years, and I've had five boxing fights and one Muay Thai fight, and I'm pretty confident about doing whatever it takes to win. But my goal is to be a MMA fighter and not a jiu-jitsu fighter. I want to make a statement and show that I can be up there with the top five guys pretty soon. So that my goal is to do what I did with jiu-jitsu, which is like reach the highest level and be a champion. So I don't want to be relying on jiu-jitsu, even though that's something that I know I can turn it on anytime, but I want to make exciting fights for the fans. And I know for a lot of people, jiu-jitsu can be boring, especially for heavyweights. So I'm here to make a statement and show that okay, jiu-jitsu is not boring if it needs to be played, but also I'm here to perform. I'm here to give a great show for the fans.
Do you know anything about your opponent? I know you've had a bunch. You said that have fallen off, but I mean that has to be pretty exciting to have somebody accept this fight.
Right. Yeah. I also I like to thank him for taking this fight because I was supposed to fight somebody else, and then 2 weeks ago, apparently the guy didn't want to sign the contract, or I'm not 100% sure what happened, but this guy took the fight. I've done some research on him. I didn't find a whole lot of fights, but I know that he's a very strong guy. I've seen this guy that lifting 700 pounds. So I'm guessing he's gonna be very, very strong, and that he's gonna be very, very aggressive because I've kind of seen his style and stuff. So I think he's gonna be aggressive. I think he's gonna be strong, and I think he's gonna be a great um experience in my journey. So it's gonna be cool. I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Going back to your gym, you said you're out there in Virginia. How did you end up there? Why'd you pick Virginia?
So I moved here 7 years ago to train under Lloyd Irving. So that's where we accomplished all the world titles. So in 2014, we won purple belt, and then everything that I won in jiu-jitsu after that was with him. So then, when I decided to open the gym, usually we have this problem in jiu-jitsu that, the students, they want to open gyms, but then the coaches are not happy about it, and then there's a big drama about it. So when I called Lloyd to talk about the gym, he was very, bro, I don't give a shit. I want you close by. I want you to stay close to me. I don't want you to go anywhere. So I was like, oh shit, I don't know if he's gonna, want me to move or anything. He's like, bro, as long as you across the bridge, I don't give a shit. Do your thing. And we close by. We're gonna still train together. We're still gonna do a lot together. So that to me was a um that was a big thing because I know how hard it is, to thrive with a jiu-jitsu school. And he didn't care. He was like, okay, do your thing. I'll be here. We'll be here. Let's stay close enough so we can train together, whatever. So it was amazing. So yeah, I came here to Maryland initially to train with him, under him. And now I would say 20 minutes away. And we're still training together at least twice a week, so it's amazing. It's been an amazing experience, to be close enough from him.
Yes. Okay, what about outside of training, jiu-jitsu and MMA? What have you found? Is there time for you to do other things or other things you enjoy?
Actually, I don't like to do many other things, to be honest. I like money. I like training. I like beating people up. Even if I get beat up, I like that too. I also enjoyed the grind, and I like accomplishing big things. So I hang out with my family. I hang out with I have a newborn at the house. He's a month old. He's gonna be a month old tomorrow. I have a 6-year-old daughter, so I have a beautiful girlfriend. I have great friends like this. My partner here at the gym, we've been friends since we were blue belts. So we were blue belts together in Brazil, blue belts, purple belts, and then I came here. We've been, around each other forever. And then when it was time to open the gym, he moved here. He actually drove from Texas. 3 days driving. He drove from Texas. He jumped in a U-Haul, and he came here to chase that dream with me. So I have a beautiful family, beautiful friends. So I hang out with them, but to be honest, I don't do much other than working. I don't. I mess it up sometimes because I work too much.
You mentioned that your dad, with your name, naming you that, he never got to see you fight, but it kind of put something in you. It was almost like it was predestined. What did you name your kids, and did that go into the thought process when you were picking names?
Oh man. So a lot of crazy coincidences, right? So my dad, his name was Ali. And it's funny because there's I mean, I've never met any Muslims growing up in Brazil, but for some reason his parents named him Ali. And then he put me in Muhammad Ali. That's why it's spelled with the letter Y. So then I named my son after him. So my son's name is also Ali. So and my daughter's name is Hannah. Yeah. So with my daughter, the struggle was to find a name that would be okay here and also in Brazil because we speak another language. So if you put Ashley and then you go back to Brazil, it's gonna be tough for my even my family to pronounce that name. So how can you find a name that's gonna work here and there? So that was the biggest challenge for my daughter. But for my son, it was a little easier. I wanted that name to be honest, but I didn't want to push it, you know. But then my girl was like, and then we're going through a lot of names. Hey, what about this? What about that? She like Zion, right? But then I was like, bro, he's gonna be the last one in the classroom, because he started with the letter Z. No, let's not do this with him. And then we had a lot of names lined up that end up didn't work. And then one day she was like, "What about Ali?" And then I was like, "Oh my God, that would be perfect." Like that would be perfect. And she was like, "Okay, that's it." So his name is Ali. That's how I came up with that name. I mean, she came up with that name.
That's awesome. That's very cool. Okay, we've talked about the event. It's going to be Saturday, January 20th, PCS4 at the GSH Event Center. You can get your tickets now, or you can watch it at clearlifemedia.com from anywhere in the world. Muhamed, is there anything else that you would like to share or talk about?
Just thank you, thank you and the team and the event and my opponent and everybody, man. So I'm very excited about this moment. It's gonna be a very special moment for me, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. I appreciate my students, coming in. I have people flying in, which is to me is a big responsibility too. It's like, oh my God, you going? Why don't you stay? And they're like, no, 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 we're gonna be there for you, coach, whatever. So I'm like, oh my God, okay. So I appreciate them. I appreciate the ones that won't come, but they will support and watch and buy the pay-per-view, So I'm very excited about this day. It's a big day.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
This is Gardy with Clear Life Combat. You can watch from anywhere in the world at clearlifemedia.com.